Isupk in the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and get started, man. But before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe on all pages, all platforms. You understand? Let's go ahead and get this everything pushed out about Christmas. This is the time of the season of Christmas, and we're going to go into a heavy breakdown on Christmas. We're going to go into a lot of things a lot of people don't know about Christmas. You know what I mean? And we just going to get into it. So, but before we do that, let's just make sure that we like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to go ahead and do that now, right? Give us about a minute to do that. Just going to get into it. So. Ahead and get into it. All right, so make sure if you tap in, you know what I'm saying. You if you're any of my Facebook friends, you tap in. Make sure you just tap in, man. If you got any questions, or anything like that, just let me know. I gladly answer any type of question that you have. You know what I'm saying. We're gonna get into this heavy topic. Today's heavy topic is gonna be on the things you didn't know about Christmas. Now, modernly, how everybody views Christmas is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? American tradition. The average person that live in America, you know what I mean, look at this as something very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was being young, you know, I always used to look forward to Christmas and all the Christmas movies and all the fun, getting around family, getting gifts and stuff like that, you know, and all the mystical things. All right. Now we get into those facts. Now we're gonna actually go into what Christmas actually is, where it comes from. Today we're gonna talk about Saturnalia, and also talk about where it even come from before even that. You know, how many people knew that like Christmas, this origin is way older than Jesus Christ. Like this thing right here is so old. It goes all the way back to Babylonian traditions and customs. All right, it go all the way back to Babylon. That's how old Christmas is. It's older than Jesus Christ. All right. Now, one thing that the narrative that we learned in the world was Jesus Christ's birthday was on December 25th. All right. Now, what you're gonna find out today is that is a lie. You know, his birthday wasn't on December 25th. And there's a reason why the Bible don't even mention him having that birthday. So we're going to go and get into the biblical narratives. But before we even do that, I want to definitely get into this article that I have. Start with. So I got this article. It's called the Nimrod tree. The Lord of Christmas. The Lord of Christmas. Nimrod, the Lord of Christmas. Nimrod started the great organized worldly autopsy from God that has dominated this world until now. Nimrod married his own mother, whose name was Semiramis. After Nimrod's death, his so-called mother, wife Semiramis, propagated the evil doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. All right, so first off, let's take this very slow, man. The real origin of where Christmas comes from, it comes from Nimrod. Okay, and one thing that I just kind of skimmed over, I probably shouldn't even skimmed over this, was the fact that he married his own mother. This man had sex with his own mother, man. All right, how disgusting is that? That's not normal. That is not, you know what I mean? You have no morals if you do something like that. So it tells you what type of person, what type of man he was. It's a man that did not have morals at all, despised morals at that point. Him and his mother, his whole seed or where he come from was just disgusting and nasty. You know what I'm saying? Nimrod had sex with his own mother. Okay, and this is a real true story. This ain't nothing fabricated or, you know what I'm saying? This is not a myth. It's not a mythical tale or anything like that. This is serious. All right, and it says, okay, so Semiramis propagated the evil doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed a full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolized the springing forth unto new life. Of the dead Nimrod on each anniversary of his birth, she claimed Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. This from, you know what I'm saying, the story of Nimrod is how they fabricated in the Christians and Constantine Day, how they use Jesus Christ's birthday as December 25th. They get it from Nimrod. They get it from this story right here. You understand? And what's so crazy and what's so wild about this right here, it's showing you how his mother played a big, huge part of the evil doctrine of the evergreen tree. Okay, the evergreen tree was symbolized, like she put out in the earth. At that time in Babylon, she put out in the earth, man, that, you know what I'm saying, if you don't worship this tree, and if you do not bow down to this tree and give it gifts, you understand, and talk to the tree and worship it, this tree is going to kill you. This tree is you're going to die. That was the narrative she was putting it out. And she put it out so strong and heavy to like really had people believe in this crap. Like had people really fooled with, oh, this evergreen tree, this really Nimrod. You know what I'm saying? This is the spirit of Nimrod in this tree. And if we don't do that, Nimrod gonna kill us. This evergreen tree, who is Nimrod, is gonna kill us. People were fearing the hell out of this thing right here. Okay? And it is just so crazy. Like, we're going to the Bible and I'm gonna show you biblical narratives of why the Lord used Jeremiah in that time. You're gonna see, and it's gonna all make sense. Matter of fact, we can go to the Bible and the scriptures right now just to give this some clarity of this story. All right, so we're gonna go into Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. And it says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." So the Lord, through Jeremiah, the Lord had a message to the children of Israel. This ain't talking for everybody. All right. Around this time, Jeremiah was living in a Babylonian captivity. Okay. Around this time, man, these was the things that was going on. They was worshiping that tree of Nimrod, which in today's time is that tree of Christmas. We ain't even got to the time of where it was even Christmas yet. This is the real root of where Christmas come from. Okay. So it says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." This ain't talking to everybody. This only was talking to the Israelites, God's chosen people. And it says, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." The Lord specifically said in Jeremiah to, You know what I'm saying? Don't learn the ways of the heathen. Don't follow into their traditions. Okay? Don't follow into their traditions because their traditions is not real. Okay? Their traditions ain't, they're fake. It's fake news. It's false, basically. That's what the Lord was saying, man. Like, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Don't do all those things. And it says, for the heathen are dismayed at them. What did that tell you about the heathens? They were afraid. They feared what was in the sky. They feared the stars, the moon in the skies, and all of those things, man. They feared those things. They were scared of it. Okay, and then it's going to tell you more about it. It says, for the customs are of the people are vain. This was the knowledge and the wisdom that Jeremiah was putting out there. Jeremiah was telling this to the Israelites so you won't be fooled by the indoctrination that was going on in Babylon at that time. Around that time, man, people were getting indoctrinated about that evergreen tree and how Nimrod, man, would kill you if you didn't put gifts up under that tree and you didn't worship that tree. All right, it's very silly. You know what I'm saying? Much how like people believe in Santa Claus today. People believe that Santa Claus is real. They tell their kids that Santa Claus is real and all of those things, and they know he's not real, but they still believe in him so strong. They go to the mall and they see a oppressor, man, with a Santa Claus suit on, and then they put their kid on a stranger's lap. Like, it's just very sadistic, man, if you really think about it, and it's nasty. It's alternative, all right? Now, it says, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. Now, what do that sound like today? That sound like somebody just going in the forest and cutting down that tree. They cutting down that tree in that forest. That's what's going on. And if you say it in modern times today, to help you understand what's going on. And then verse 4, it says, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fastened it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. All right. This is what they're doing with this tree. This evergreen tree, they take it out of the woods. You know what I'm saying? They deck it with silver and gold. All right. They fasten it with hammers and nails. Okay. This was back in the day. This was around the time before Christ. You know what I'm saying? This was what they were doing. They was keeping and upholding this tradition. And like I said at the top of this, the Lord said these traditions were vain. If you know what the word vain mean, it means that it was meaningless. It's not real. Don't have no effect to anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't have no power. It's not real. It's fake. Basically, that's what the Lord was telling the children of Israel through Jeremiah, right? And then it says that it moved not. They are upright as the palm tree. Okay. So now he's letting you know how this evergreen tree is getting looked at. This tree is getting looked at like it's something special, like a palm tree. And when you go to Florida, you go out there on the beach and you see those palm trees, you just, man, you think like you living good. Like everything is a good time when you see those palm trees. It's a beautiful thing. It's something to look upon. It's something to, you know what I'm saying, to represent something great, to get inspiration from. That's how they were looking at this evergreen tree, this Christmas tree. They looked at it the same way. They looked at it and they put it on a pedestal. All right, you go downtown Detroit right now at Campus Martius, they got a big fat ass Christmas tree down there, man. They got a big fat ass Christmas tree, and they all down there, like people gather by the thousands, man, and just be looking at the tree, and they looking at it like it's something so beautiful. They take the you know what I'm saying, men take the girlfriends down there, like be romancing near that tree, like they really look and be inspired by this tree. And it don't have no meaning to it. This is all meaningless. This is all vain, just like how the Lord said it was vain. You understand? And that's how they looked at it. That's the inspiration they look. But it says, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Now, to help you understand that, this is breaking down that if this tree was so alive and then it got all of this inspiration, then why are you doing all this work to keep up with this tree? Why are you cutting this tree down if it got so much power behind it? Why are you cutting this tree down? Why you got to decorate it then? Why you got to fasten it with hammers so this tree can't move? You putting power all in that tree because it don't have no power for real. That's what the scripture is telling you right there. The scripture letting you know, like, you look silly as hell when you doing all of this for an evergreen tree. That means nothing. You understand? And then it says, because they cannot go. Then the Lord said, be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good. So the Lord letting the children of Israel know, like, okay, yeah, this custom is big and all of that, but these things are fake and false. It's not evil. It can't do no harm to you. It can't hurt you, any of those things. You know what I'm saying? And it lead me right back to the article again, because now you're seeing why people were moving the way they were around this time. When you look deep into this story, reason why they were doing that was because of Nimrod's mother / wife, Semiramis. Says Semiramis propagated the evil doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed a full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolized the springing forth unto new life of the dead Nimrod. On each anniversary of his birth, she claimed Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. December 25th was the birthday of Nimrod. This is the real origin of the Christmas tree. All right, and then it says, traditionally, a Yule log was burned in the fireplace on Christmas Eve, and during the night, as the Yule log embers died, there appeared in the room, as if by magic, a Christmas tree surrounded by gifts. The Yule log represented the sun god Nimrod, and the Christmas tree represented himself resurrected as his own son Tammuz. Now, Nimrod had sex with his mother. She had a baby. You know what I'm saying? She got pregnant, had a baby. That baby name was Tammuz. Now, they say that Tammuz was a reincarnation of Nimrod, right? And then it says, after Salakia, let me just read a little bit more. So it says this: the origin of Christmas goes back to ancient Babylon. It is bound up in an organized autopsy with which Satan has gripped a deceived world these many centuries in Egypt. It was also believed that the son of Iris, Egyptian name of Queen of Heaven, was born December 25th. That's another spin-off story, right? Ramesses also bore the title Queen of Heaven, and she was Nimrod's mother. Paganism celebrated this famous birthday over most of the known world for centuries before the birth of Christ. All right, so it's basically telling you, like, you know what I'm saying? December 25th was always famous. December 25th always was famous because that right there was the birthday of Nimrod. Okay? So I just pulled that out just to kind of like show you, you know what I'm saying, where it really comes from. And basically show you that's like real, it's a real true origin of Christmas. You know what I'm saying? We haven't even got to Saturnalia yet, because Saturnalia started in Rome. That was the time of like when Christ was on the scene. You know what I'm saying? That's when Saturnalia started, and we ain't even get to that part yet. But you just got to understand this evil lie that was created thousands of years ago, even before Christ. And you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. His mother really fooled people and said, this evergreen tree, you understand, you need to worship it because it's Nimrod. You don't worship this tree, you're going to get killed. Nimrod going to come kill you. And people literally was afraid of this tree. This is what you gotta understand about the times then when it first started. People were actually afraid, were scared as hell of that tree. So they gave gifts to it, worshipped it like it was God. And that's what the Lord said, and it pissed him off. That's why we're gonna go to my next scripture. It's gonna be the book of Amos. We're gonna go to the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. Let me get it real quick. Bear with me. Amos chapter 5 and verse 21, it says this. It says, I hate. I thought that God didn't hate. You understand? Like everybody kept on saying that the Lord don't hate. You just, you know what I'm saying, subject him to just love. And that's the only, you know what I'm saying, feeling that he'll have. Us as human beings, we got all type of feelings in us, man. We get happy, we get angry, we get mad, we get sad, upset, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We have love, we have hatred, we got all of those emotions. You telling me the Lord is only subjected to love? You out of your mind, man. You are out of your mind. The Lord said he hate. Okay? That's what the Lord say. He hate. It says this. I hate, I despise your feast days. To despise something mean you look down and you frown upon. Like you look at something like, what in the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, I despise you. Like, you got a real hatred for that. Like, you can't even be around me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the abbreviations, but FN. FN, you know what I'm saying? You'll catch it if you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Ask me out the class. But, you know what I mean? Despising somebody is you don't even want them being around you. They can't even be in your presence. That's how the Lord felt about what's going on. It says, I despise your feast days. Lord say he hate and he despise what feast days? Your feast days. Why do the Lord despise your feast days? Because it's not his feast days. Lord don't want nothing to do with your feast days, your filthy, disgusting feast days. You understand? When I'm talking about feast days, I'm talking about Christmas, I'm talking about Thanksgiving, Easter, 4th of July, your birthday. The Lord hate those days. And he despise it. And he should despise it because guess what? You're not doing what he asking you to do anyway. How can you get in good riddance with the Lord? You got to serve his days. That's what you're supposed to do. If the Lord hates your feast days, it's because you're not celebrating his days. You putting those fake, false philosophy days over his, which actually are meaningful. You understand? What's some of the feast days of the Lord? Passover, Feast of Dedication, Feast of Purim, Memorial of the Blowing of the Trumpets. You understand? Those are the days of the Lord. You can find the Lord's feast days in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. That's where you find the Lord's feast days. And that's how the Lord will actually love you. Lord not going to love you if you're out here celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is a big false lie and a big narrative that it has something to do with God and Jesus and the Bible. And you know what I'm saying? They used to say all type of bull crap. They used to say that Jesus is the reason for the season. Jesus, first off, is not the reason for the season of Christmas at all. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to go in the Bible and find him ever celebrating Christmas ever. Jesus Christ. Not going to find that. That is a lie and that is a false narrative. Okay, in fact, December is the worst time of the month, the most depressing time of the month. Then on top of that, this is where most of the murders happen. A lot of people commit suicide in December, man. So how in the hell can you say that, you know what I'm saying, Jesus is the reason for the season? He's not. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. It's a fat lie. It's a false narrative. You should just get in class, man. You need to start educating yourself in these times, man. Okay? Because it's very, very heavy. You got to know, man, like, Lord ain't playing. Okay? So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and pull some more scriptures just to help you understand, like, Christmas has nothing to do at all with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you think. And when I read in Jeremiah the 10th chapter about Chris, the Lord said in that verse that it was meaningless. And the Lord said not to do it. He said, don't learn the ways of the heathen. Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Because the heathens were dismayed at them. The heathens were scared, man. They scared of that evergreen tree. You know what I'm saying? They fear that thing. What the hell are you fearing the evergreen tree for? Are you silly? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Are you retarded? That's the Lord. That's how he look at you when you go celebrating these days. The Lord look at you like you are silly, you ignorant, you dumb. You understand? He hates you when you do it. All right. So all in all, Black Hispanics and Native Indians, you need to start coming back to what the Lord want to do if you're sincere. If you're sincere, the right thing to do is learn what the Lord loves. You know what I'm saying? The days that he like. You know what I'm saying? What's acceptable for him. That's having wisdom, and then you showing the proof that you love the Lord. Now, if you just indoctrinated in America, you just want to still follow along with Americanized traditions because it's so fun to do and it just look all exciting. I mean, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Go for it by any means. But the Lord is not going to be with you. The Lord eventually is going to put you to death. You understand? You're just not going to be okay. The Lord is going to find some way, man, to terrorize your life. Life is never going to go right. All right, and I'm going to prove that. We're going to go into the book of Isaiah. Isaiah, the first chapter. Okay? We're going to go to Isaiah. Let's go to chapter 1. Let's start at verse 13. And it says this: bring no more vain oblations. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord say. Let me look up that word oblations. Okay? Just so we can get it the term corrected, right? Just to know. The oblations, an active course of action to which a person morally or legally bound, a duty, a commitment. You know what I'm saying? So it's an obligation, all right? So it says this: bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. Okay? The Lord's saying, man, don't bring none of those meaningless days nowhere near me. You know what I'm saying? You need to be done away with those things. It said the incense is an abomination unto me. Meaning what? The incense that you're putting in the air is an abomination, and it's not the incense that you're supposed to be putting in the air for the Lord. Okay? When we used to sacrifice, when we were sacrificing in the book of Leviticus, man, we had to burn incense, man. And what incense were we burning? Frankincense and myrrh. That's the incense that we supposed to burn. Y'all burning an incense that is an abomination to the Lord. The incense y'all burning is pork. Y'all put a whole pig on the roast, man, and y'all gonna pray. Y'all gonna pray over it. You know what I'm saying? And ask God to, nourish it in your bodies and your system. The Lord don't want you doing that. He don't want you coming to him with none of that. You understand? The Lord will eventually, he's gonna make sure that pork actually destroy your life. He's gonna make sure that pork give you cancer. That pork that you roasting, and you know what I'm saying, you got on the roaster and all of that. That shrimp, that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster you feasting on too, and you praying over it. The Lord is gonna make sure all of those foods, because you're breaking the dietary law. It's not even food to eat. Lord gonna make sure you pay and you suffer. He hates when you do it. He hates when you try to get him involved with it. Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. That's what the Lord say, man. He don't even care about your feast day. Like, he don't even want you saying or thanking him for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Lord hates that. Go over there on Christmas Day to your grandma's house and all your cousins over there and all your family over there, and y'all about to pray over that turkey and all that food over there. The Lord don't want to hear that. The Lord don't even want to be involved in that, man. You understand? That right there, the Lord ain't with. Okay. Now, go with this. Go into some more scriptures. Really get understanding why we just don't do this. We're gonna go to Matthew the 15th chapter and verse 9. Now, Matthew 15 and 9 says this. Matthew 15 and 9 says, "But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." And that right there absolutely matches up with what's going to happen in December, man. Now, you got to understand, December, you don't even understand what you're doing. You sleep on how evil it is to celebrate Christmas. A lot of people sleep on it because they never learned the real truth about Christmas. They never even cared to know where it even came from. All they know is, man, is good gifts. You know what I'm saying? They good food on that day, good inspiration, all of those things. They just don't understand, like, it's very, very despising to the Lord. Like, the Lord hates Christmas. Like, what you want me to tell you? Just sit up here and lie to you? Like I told you that it came out the Bible, right? That's why the Lord say in vain they do worship me, teaching doctrines, the commandments of men. That was a man-made tradition right there of Christmas, made by Semiramis, Nimrod's mother. You know what I'm saying? She basically was paying homage to Nimrod through an evergreen tree. You understand? And making people believe that Nimrod was somehow a being that lived inside that tree. Used trickery, man. Put gifts up under it and everything. You know what I mean? Like, it was just bad. All right. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Like, December, all you doing when you celebrate this, you help your enemy. Who is your enemy? The oppressor. That's who you are helping when you celebrate Christmas. You helping the oppressor. Because think about it. What does Christmas cause? When you celebrate Christmas, this what black people, you spend all of your money. You understand? Even your rent money. Use your rent money and you go broke just to buy your badass kids some gifts they do not deserve because they got some badass grades. And then by the time of the first of the month, the so-called beginning of the year, you already coming in the so-called beginning of the year broke. You gave all that money to the oppressor. You just made him rich. You just effed yourself, man. Whether you know it or not, you really just effed yourself. You understand? Like, you got to realize what you're doing. Giving all of your goods, man, to someone that don't care. That's the evil in it. That's another evil that you just, a side point you just don't see coming when you're doing that. And it's so traditional for black people. Like, if y'all had, like, I just can imagine, like, if black people had the wisdom in them and they just kept it real and 100 with themselves. Like, we're not going to lie to our kids and say that Santa is real and this, that, other, and the third. No, son, Santa ain't real. You see where I'm at. I'm in the projects. You think Santa gonna come down a chimney in here? How you gonna get in my house? How is that man with that red suit gonna get up in here? You gotta just keep it real, man. If blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians just kept it real with each other, it would be so much better. Be so much more safer. You'll save so much money. And, you know, America would damn near collapse if blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians did not participate in Christmas. Like, America, off that alone, would collapse. This place would go into bad suffering, bro. And it'd be for our benefit. That's what you got to know. That's why wisdom is very strong, man. That's why you need to be pushing these classes throughout the earth to every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian all across the world. because somebody gonna listen to this truth. Somebody is gonna hear this and understand exactly what I'm talking about out there, man. You understand? Like, that's what you gotta know, man. Like, if we had that wisdom right there, you would just look at Santa Claus like he like alternative. Like he a LGBTQ member. You gotta think, man. Think about that nasty song. You know what I'm saying? You better watch out. You better not cry. This nigga Santa said you can't even cry. He sounds so nasty. And he said, you better not do it because I'm telling you why Santa Claus is coming to town. He sound like a pedophile, bro. That nigga say, he know when you are asleep. He know when you are awake. Like, come on now, man. Like, that right there is very, very, it's nasty. If you really think about it. And I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but it's very nasty, man. If you really go and examine that, that's what black people should do. You should go take time out and examine that Santa Claus is coming to town song. He know when you good, and he know when you nice. He know when you naughty. Like, come on, man. It's nasty. You know what I'm saying? I remember like when my grandma really had me fooled when I was in the world, when I was a kid, of course. She told me that like Santa Claus was real. You know, I used to want to just stay up and see if this nigga was gonna come in my house. I just wanted to see if he was gonna do all that and have reindeers all up in the hood and stuff. I was gonna go outside and be like, "How you do all that shit, man? Do it." I was gonna ask him that, but the thing is, he not real. You know, once I came to the conclusion, man, it just don't make no sense to be lying to your kids, your children out there, telling them that Santa Claus is real, taking them to the mall like that's real Santa Claus. No, that's a nasty oppressor, man, that probably do nasty stuff, man. You probably should never put your kid on his lap ever in your life. That'll save your life, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, so what I'm gonna do now also is gonna get into the story of Saturnalia. Okay, so I have another article with that, right? Now, this comes from the History Channel actually. History, and this says, what is Saturnalia? And now let's take a time to read that right there. So it says, what is Saturnalia? Saturnalia, the most popular holiday on the ancient Roman calendar, derived from older farming related rituals of midwinter and the winter solstice, especially the practice of offering gifts or sacrifices to the gods during the winter sowing season. Okay, so eventually down the line with Nimrod and the story of Nimrod and the evergreen tree, it somehow morphed. And when it got into Rome, it morphed into Saturnalia. And that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to talk about right now. It says the pagan celebration of Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture and time, began as a single day. But the late Republic, it had expanded to a week-long festival beginning September 17th. That's where the 12 days of Christmas. You hear the 12 days of Christmas. This is where Saturnalia come from. They had that festival. That festival lasts for about 2 weeks, man. And in that festival, what you're gonna learn is, the oppressor he party like how he party. When the oppressor party, is drugs involved, and I'm not talking marijuana. I'm talking about heavy drugs. I'm talking about like Percocets, heroin, meth, crack, big drugs. Understand? Big drugs is included in a partying, a lot of sex. A lot of sex. What kind of sex? A lot of LGBTQ sex. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, in that community, there's a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's celebrated in these times of Saturnalia. Okay? Also a time of lawlessness. and all of those things. So around this 12 day expansion, this is how they celebrating. Gonna go into a little bit of it. How the Romans celebrated Saturnalia. During Saturnalia, work and business came to a halt. Schools and courts of the law closed. The normal social patterns were suspended. So again, all lawless, all like the laws, damn near was suspended. You know what I'm saying? A time of lawlessness. Everybody took off. You know what I'm saying? No schools, no nothing. This was what's going on. And then it says people decorated their homes with wreaths and other greenery and shared their traditional togas in favor of colorful clothes known as synthesis. Even enslaved people, goddamn, this is talking about the slaves, did not have to work during Saturnalia, but were allowed to participate in the festivities. In some cases, they sat at the head of the table while their master served them. Instead of Instead of working, Romans spent Saturnalia gambling, singing, playing music, feasting, socializing, giving each other gifts. Wax taper candles called seri were common gifts during Saturnalia to signify light returning after the solstice. Okay, so it's trying to like basically what you call that? It's basically kind of like trying to like cover up all the bad things, so they kind of like going light with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's get way more graphic than what it's actually saying. It's hella graphic. Okay, so it says on the last day of Saturnalia, celebrations known as the Segalagora, many Romans gave their friends and loved ones small terracotta figurines known as Signalaria, I don't even know how to pronounce it, which may have referred back to older celebrations involving human sacrifice. Saturnalia, that sounds like some old Illuminati type stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? They talking about damn near real human sacrifices. You know what I mean? Like how evil and wicked is that? This is why the Lord say, man, like don't learn the ways of the heathen. Like you spending your time as an Israelite learning like the heathens is only gonna get you destroyed because their lives don't make sense. They don't have a moral code to follow or anything like that. So when you follow them, all you doing is setting yourself up for a bigger failure than what they ever can do. They don't have a God to serve. They don't have a Lord to depend on. Their God is the Christmas tree. Their God is the Easter bunny. Their gods are different from our God that's actually real. Get what I'm saying? So let me keep moving on. Saturnalia was by far the jolliest Roman holiday. The Roman poet Catullus famously described it as the best of times. So riotous were the festivities that the Roman author Pliny reportedly built a soundproof room so that he could work during the raucous celebrations. So their celebrations was loud, obnoxious, wicked, like you know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it wasn't no laws or anything going on around that time. It's just nothing but fun. So if people looking at that like, man, this is gonna be fun, this is gonna be lit, this, that, other, and the third, they ain't even looking at the morals. All they is focused on is the fun in this. And what's the fun in it? You ain't gotta follow no rules to nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could go out and do whatever you wanted to do. You could smoke all the crack in the world if you wanted to. You could blow up the White House. Hell, they didn't care. They didn't really care at all. And then that's the people that you're following. The Lord said not to do so. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord hate this day so bad. You understand? Let me get some more on that. So this says right here, Temple of Saturn and other Saturnalian customs, constructed in the 4th century AD to replace an earlier temple. The Temple of Saturn in Rome served as the ceremonial center of later Saturnalia celebrations. On the first day of the festivities, a young pig will often be publicly sacrificed at the temple, which was located in the northwest corner of the Roman Forum. Like they was sacrificing pigs, pig blood all in their temples. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. Like that is very unlawful. Lord, man, say that you cannot touch a pig's dead carcass. You can't even touch a pig, let alone you doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you are going against what the Lord put down with his rules and his instructions. That'll always go bad for you. It says the cult statue of Saturn in the temple traditionally had woolen bonds tied around his feet, but during Saturnalia, these bonds were loosened to symbolize the god's liberation. So they like look at all the gods that they serving around this time of Christmas. It also says in many Roman households, a mock king was chosen. The Saturnalius princeps or leader of Saturnalia, sometimes also called the Lord of Misrule. They call it the Lord of Misrule. What does it mean to have misrules? No rules. No rules at all. Usually a lowlier member of the household, this figure was responsible for making mischief during the celebrations, insulting guests, wearing crazy clothing, chasing women and girls, etc. Like this is their culture. Okay? Like you see how obnoxious this is? This is your Christmas that you serve today. This is what you probably did not know, man. You probably didn't know these things about Christmas. What if you did know and you still chose to celebrate Christmas? The Lord is going to destroy you, man. You watch this thing and you think like we don't know what we're talking about, and still going to be indoctrinated. The Lord just going to destroy you. It says, House Saturnalia led to Christmas. Thanks to the Roman Empire's conquests in Britain and the rest of Europe from the 2nd century BC to the 4th century AD and their suppression of older seasonal rites practiced by the Celts and other groups, today's Western cultures derive many of their traditional celebrations of midwinter from Saturnalia. The Christian holiday of Christmas especially owes many of its traditions to the ancient Roman festival, including the time of the year Christmas is celebrated. The Bible does not give a date for Jesus' birth. In fact, some theologians have concluded he was probably born in spring, as suggested by references to shepherds and sheep in the nativity story. We all know, you know what I'm saying? Of course, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we all know and we all understand that Christ was definitely not born December 25th. He was born around Passover. You know what I'm saying? He was born in the springtime. We absolutely 100% know that. That's in the scriptures. All right, and it says, is Christmas a pagan holiday? Pagans and Christians coexist, though not always happily during this period. But you do see this right here. This is how you know that Christianity, you know what I'm saying? It's Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible, because even your Christian pastor today, he celebrates Christmas. He's involved with this thing. He goes along with Saturnalia. He goes along with the teachings of Nimrod. He goes along with this thing right here. He loved this thing, Christmas. Even though it's pagan, he still be involved in it. This is how you know that the Christian church is evil. It's how you know that the Christian churches are wicked. It's how you know that the truth is not even there at all. It don't even dwell there. Because look what they do. They choose willingly to celebrate Christmas. It says during this period, and this likely represented an effort to convince the remaining pagan Romans to accept Christianity as Rome's official religion. Christianity, man, was Rome's religion. So if Christianity was already evil then, back in Rome, the times of Christ, what would change it and make it so wonderful now? How would Christianity be something that's good? How could you say something that's good that's always been evil? Even from its root foundation. Root foundation of the Christian church, man, tells you that they believe in paganism. Paganism is against the Lord. You cannot be a follower of Christ and you believe in paganism. Can't meaning this. You can't serve Christ and go celebrate Christmas. It don't go together. Can't serve Christ and say that you're a follower of Christ and you celebrate your birthday. You can't do those things. You can't say that you serve God and the Most High and you out here, man, going to strip clubs, man, looking at ass. Can't do that, man. You understand? So those just was some things I actually definitely wanted to show and signify with you on, you know what I'm saying, Christmas. You know what I'm saying? The things you didn't know about Christmas is that it's evil. Thing that you didn't know about Christmas, that it comes from an evil, wicked man named Nimrod. Actually, I'm going to go in the Bible. I'm going to show you Nimrod in the Bible and in the scriptures. This is how you know that it's real. I'm going to go to Genesis, the 10th chapter, and verse 8. And this is just a backtrack just to show you how Nimrod is involved in the Bible. We're going to see if Nimrod was someone that the Lord loved or if this was just something great. He was a great man according to the Lord, and the Lord was with him. It says this, Genesis 10 and 8, when Cush begat Nimrod, he began to be a mighty one in the earth. Nimrod was a mighty human in the earth. Living in Babylon, he was an African. Okay? That's what Nimrod was. He was from the tribe of Cush. Okay? A Cushite. It says he was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. Now, when the scriptures say he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, what does that mean? Like, let's break that down right there. It sounds like, you know what I'm saying, before the Lord, he sound like he's working for the Lord or something. If you just thinking off the back of your head. But this actually mean right here when it said he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, meaning he always was going against the Lord. He wanted to go against the Lord. He wanted to top the Lord. He wanted to be above the Lord. So he always was going after the Lord. All right. Wherefore it said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And at the beginning of it, and that should tell you something about Nimrod. If Christmas comes from Nimrod, you are evil if you celebrate it, because Nimrod was against the Lord. Nimrod directly did not respect the Lord at all. He didn't care about the Most High at all. He was an evil bastard. Okay? That's what Nimrod was. He always tried to outdo the Most High. That's the type of spirit he had on him. You think Nimrod and the Lord was cool together? No, the Lord did not like Nimrod. Nimrod did not respect the Lord. The Lord eventually killed Nimrod. So what are we talking about? How are you trying to fabricate this thing into now all of a sudden God loves something that supports Nimrod? Like, no, don't make sense. Don't make sense at all. So it says, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh and the land of Shinar. Out of the land forth Ashar builded Nevaeh and the city of Rehoboth and Calah. All right, and then it says, we go down a little bit. But basically, I just wanted to pull that scripture just to show you Nimrod in the Bible. Okay, just in case y'all felt like, okay, this might be a mythical thing or Nimrod never existed. He absolutely existed. That's why he was in the Bible. He was in the Bible for a reason. It wasn't for a good reason. It's just to show you the type of person that he was. Nimrod was evil, man. Nimrod, with everything in his body, he wanted to go against the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? He always was going against the Most High. All right. Now let me show you some things and just to show you and prove to y'all what the Lord really was into, man. I'm gonna get the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 9. And it says this. It says, and he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition. And that's exactly what people decide to do, especially in this time of the year. Around this time of the year, if you try to go to your family and you try to disrupt their Christmas celebration, you try to come over their house, man, while they passing out those gifts, and if you say anything wrong with Christmas, they're going to kick you out that house that day. They are going to fight you, bite you, and try to destroy you, and they're going to despise you because they're not trying to hear that. And the Lord basically saying this was coming out of Christ's mouth. Christ said this, and he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God. You know what full well mean? Meaning you know that you doing something wrong and you rejecting it anyway with pride. Pridefulness. You proud. You rejecting the Lord with a proud look, man, when you tell us you gonna celebrate Christmas anyway. And we sitting here and we telling you not to do it. Your dumb ass trying to sit there and you trying to justify celebrating it. Like, you need to get your life together, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, we telling you the truth really because we love you and we actually care about you. You understand? But you need to love yourself. How do you love yourself? By being wise. If you don't know how to be wise, go around men that has wisdom. Who are the most wisest men in the world? It's the men that's in the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, under command and junior honor. You understand? That's the only way, man, to be able to defeat what's coming to this earth. All right. Also, get this right here. It says, I'm going to go in to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 1. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1, it says this. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Now, this is something real heavy what Paul's saying. He's saying, now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I will not have you ignorant. You know what I'm saying? He said, ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols. What is those dumb idols? Your Thanksgivings, your Christmas celebrations, your paganistic heathen customs that you keep, man. Those are the things, those are the dumb idols you decide to worship. When you putting gifts up under that tree, man, you giving power and homage and you giving all of your power, man, to that tree. Like that tree is your God. You worshiping that tree, man. That's a dumb idol you worshiping, man. You gotta think about that. Like this right here is so satanic. It's satanic because you're being fooled by and you're making something a God that has no real power, that don't have no life in it. That's why he say, wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of God call of Jesus accursed, and that no man can say that Jesus is the Lord, but the Holy Spirit. See that? That's what Paul was saying, man. Paul was saying, man, if you moving by the Spirit of the Lord, you're not gonna say that Jesus was accursed. See what I'm saying? And guess what Christ did? Christ did not believe in Christmas. Christ knew that his birthday wasn't no damn December 25th. You know who put that on him? Constantine. Constantine did those things. Added those traditions, added all those paganistic things to Christianity. That's what really truly happened. All right. Now let's get I'm gonna show you something what Christ did do. I'm gonna show you something that he was really into around the wintertime. You want to know what Christ was doing in the wintertime? We're gonna go to John 10 and 22, and we're gonna see what Jesus Christ, what he was doing in the wintertime. And you tell me if he was celebrating Christmas, because Christmas is in the wintertime. So let's get it. This John 10 and 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication, and it was winter. And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. That right there is showing you what? Jesus Christ in the wintertime was celebrating the feast of dedication, which we have coming up very soon, man. That's what Jesus Christ was doing. He was celebrating that. Celebrating the feast of dedication. It didn't say that Jesus Christ is celebrating Christmas. It didn't say that he celebrated his birthday. In order for the Bible to say that Jesus Christ supported Christmas, if Jesus Christ supported Christmas, he would have to support birthdays as well. Because they said Jesus Christ's birthday was December 25th. So if that thing, he's celebrating two pagans at one day, in one day, if that was the case. But this is not the case. The real truth and the real matter, because I just read it to you, John 10 and 22 to 23, it says, it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication. The feast of dedication is the feast day of the Lord in the wintertime. And it says, and it was the winter. And it was winter, meaning what? It was snow on the ground. When it's snow on the ground, man, in America, people is automatically in their mind is Christmas. Christmas lights, Christmas trees, eggnog. You understand? Elves. Santa Claus hats, Santa Claus outfits. That's what's in people's minds when they see snow on the ground. But in the scripture, it's telling you what Jesus was doing when snow was on the ground. Jesus was celebrating the feast of dedication. That's the truth. That's what you need to know. That's what's going to help you understand that, guess what? Celebrating Christmas, I was wrong for that, man. I need to go ahead and change that. Need to go ahead and hang that up. I was wrong about that. Jesus Christ ain't celebrating no damn Christmas. Just came out the Bible. He was celebrating the Feast of Dedication. Maybe I need to go be a follower of Christ for real. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do, black man. That's what you got to start realizing and understanding. You need to get off in the school. You need to get serious with the Lord. You need to change your life because we don't have that much time, man. America is crumbling so crazy. Guess what? China, man, is giving big threats to America right now. Whether you know that or not, man, that's what's going on. You know, you got big official, got generals. The head general of the United States military just said that China is their biggest threat. That is a fact. That just came out when? Yesterday. So you got to know, man, like this ain't no joke. You don't have that much time, man. How long are you going to sit there and procrastinate, Christian? How long you going to sit there and procrastinate, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian? You need to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to wish that you would have did the right things and came off into school and put in that work. You're going to wish you'd have done that. I'm telling you, man. All right? I'll show you another thing. What Christ did. I'm gonna show you another thing that, you know what I'm saying, if you're a follower of Christ, you would do. Matthew 26 and 17. Let's go there. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26. It says Matthew chapter 26, verse 17. It says, now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? This is another day. I brought this scripture to show you the days that Christ believed in, the days that he kept. He kept the days that were in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Which was the Lord's feast days. This right here is showing you that he kept the Feast of Unleavened Bread. This right here is showing you that he kept the Passover. I just showed you that where he kept the Feast of Dedication. You understand? Like, those are the most high days, man. Black man, if you got that real spirit on you, the real soldier spirit, you'll hear what I'm saying, man. You'll get up in this army. You know what I'm saying? You'll get up in this army and you'll righteously do the right thing, man. Having that brotherhood, coming back to your brothers. That's what you got to do. You'll stand up. If you a stand up nigga for real, you want to be a real nigga for real, this is the place where you need to be. The Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. This place right here is going to groom you and show you righteously what to do, how to make the right moves in life, how to run a business, how to operate your family, how to, you know what I'm saying, what's your next move. You come in here, man, you're going to get all of those good guidance. You're going to get guidance, and guess why? Because it's brotherhood. We have brotherhood in here, man. You understand? We also gonna go to we're gonna go to 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 4. And it says this: as concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, that there is none other God but one. This right here will help you to understand, man, to never celebrate holidays ever again in your life. I'm not just going to reduce it to Christmas, For all of the holidays that we ever done learned in America, man, were pagan. They paganistic. They're against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You get no value or anything to your life when you do it. You actually decrease your life. You understand? It don't matter about no money. You can be getting the most money in the world and be the most depressed nigga in the world with all of your money. So that don't mean nothing, man. You could get a fulfillment in here that is everlasting, man, like living water, wisdom. Wisdom help your brain, man. Wisdom help your um wisdom helps you grow. You know what I'm saying? It helps you grow. And it gives you a growth that's damn near unnatural. You know what I'm saying? Supernatural, I should say. Give you a supernatural growth. Come in here, man. You put the Lord's spirit on you. You need to get out of that old spirit. Right? That's what you gotta do. Gotta get out that old spirit. And that's gonna lead me to Ephesians 4. Ephesians 4 and 22. And it says this in Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 22. It says this. It says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupted according to the deceitful lust. You see that? That's what you got to do, man. That's what the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. That's what we do for brothers and sisters all over the world, all over the country, man. Council programs, prison programs, food and clothing programs, all of those things, man. Giving them everything that they need to be in protection and to be on the Lord's good side, man. You understand? That's what this school, this is how this school is that powerful, man. Cause this is what you gotta do. You're gonna have to put off that old man. You know what I'm saying? Concerning the former conversation, that old man, the things that you used to say, how you used to think and how you used to move, you know what I'm saying? Going to the strip club, going to the Christmas parties, going to the Christmas parties at work, which I definitely don't advise you to go to. It's get nasty in there. It gets so nasty in there, man. It's like, why you there? You know what I'm saying? Like, all of the the nasty sex and all the nasty things you used to do and you just don't supposed to be doing, that's your old life. You want to put that away, man. Meaning what? Put it behind you. Put all of that deceitfulness and all that corruption behind. In 23, it said, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. How do you renew yourself? It starts here. It starts in your mind, man. You understand? That's how you renew your spirit. You renew your spirit by what? Gaining knowledge, gaining wisdom that comes from the Bible, that comes from the priests and prophets of the Lord. That's how you renew your spirit, man, and your mind changes. Because now you become a living soul, just like how Adam was. Adam, the Lord put his spirit on Adam. And that's how Adam learned wisdom. That's how he was able to name the animals, the land, and all of these things, and just have dominion over so much. Lord he had that knowledge. And that's what you need as a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. You're going to need that knowledge. You're going to need to be knowledgeable, man. All right. I'm also let's see. I'm going to get 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 19. This is going to be my last scripture, and I'm going to end it off with this. And it says this. It says, what say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered and sacrificed to idols is anything, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. This is absolutely what's going on when you participate in Christmas. Okay, you are getting deceived in such a crazy way. How are you getting deceived when you celebrate Christmas? Because you're going over family house. There's gifts over there. There's Christmas decorations over there. The house is decorated full of lights and all this pretty stuff. So your mind is just thinking like you in a positive, beautiful world. You know what I'm saying? Christmas give you the opportunity to forget that you was a slave. That's what Christmas do. It give you the opportunity to forget your slavery. Because all of the fun and the gifts and all the good times, that's exactly what you're being deceived by. What you don't know is all of those good times and that beautiful tree and the eggnog and the gifts and the food and all the family and all the hugs and all the loves. What you don't know, it don't have nothing to do with God. It has nothing at all to do with the Most High. You actually putting yourself in a box and you going against God when you do so. You understand? All right. And all you doing is falling into the hands of devils. You falling into the hands of your oppressor, man. How are you falling into your hands of the oppressor? Like I said, all of your money, you spend literally all of your money that you got, all of your best money you can have, you spending it all on silly ass gifts. Paying who? Big corporations for the United States of America, man, which the oppressor owns. All right, so make sure you tune in to classes, man. Make sure you tune into all the classes in Isupk Detroit. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You understand? To our YouTube channel at Isupk Detroit on YouTube, Detroit Israelites on Facebook. You understand? Make sure you hit us up. Make sure you like, share, and comment. You know what I'm saying? Leave comments in the sections. You understand? And grow this truth, man. This is going to be a big thing. This thing right here, what you got to understand is this is Christ's movement right here, man. You seeing the future representatives of Christ, the Most High in Christ right here. You understand? With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Make sure, oh yeah, December 9th, we're gonna be in New York, baby. We're gonna be in New York. You understand? ISUP County Commander Jenny Honda, that's where we're gonna be. All right. That being said, shalom.